Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear sisters and mothers of humanity, I've come again to share some very important details about the lives of human beings at this present time on this planet Earth. It's important. The reason why I'm going to discuss this subject with mothers and young women as well as girls, because as you know, that every human being on this planet, whether it's a woman, a man, they are all born of a woman. They are all born from the womb of women. All living human beings on this planet, they are born from mothers. They are born of women. So it's very important that the very mothers that produce children on this planet and that they give birth to children on this planet, it's very important that these very mothers that bring or give birth to children day after day, hour after hour, they know the very true religion of their bodies. Women should know the very, very true religion of their bodies. The religion that the religion of their blood cells in their bodies, because that very region of their red and white blood cells is what makes and manages the growth of a creation in a woman who is a child, and the very mother that is carrying that child or the creation in her womb is protected, is kept alive and healthy with the very region of the blood cells, and that very red blood cells and white cells are the very the function they do what we call from stage 1 to the final stage when a child is born, by supporting and doing their functions, red blood cells and white blood cells, building and everything that what makes up the new creation to grow from an egg to a baby that is born and comes onto this planet as a newborn child. That very region of your own blood cells and red blood cells is Islam. The religion of every human being on this planet, that religion is Islam. And that very religion that gives human beings to be able to be living human beings is the religion of Mother Nature, of the environment. The region of the environment is the region of what nature produces as food for women and men to eat. So this message is designed, is going to the mothers. The mothers, because a mother who has a child today will tell you how, to some, it's very difficult when you're pregnant. They either get very tired and this and that. And others, they find it very easy and sometimes pleasing to carry a child in a womb. Some women, it's very pleasing, they enjoy it. But others, it's very complicated. But the complications that occur in women, those who are either pregnant or in the process of carrying worms babies in their womb, these complications are brought about because before you become pregnant, before you take on the task of carrying a child, a creation in your womb, you have to know what does a woman needs to have what does a woman need to be in good health, that herself as a mother that is pregnant is not affected by the task, and as well as the child that she's carrying is not affected by become unwell because of being unprepared for to become pregnant. And being unprepared, the preparedness begins from the day, I would say from the age of 13 or whatever, to understand what is your relationship with the blood cells in your body as a woman. What is your relationship with the region of the blood cells in your body? The blood cells, the red and white blood cells, they do all the functions to build muscles that makes a human being look as healthy and happy and all that. The very red blood cells are what makes a woman look beautiful. They make a woman look beautiful, healthy, and every other human beings, because it's blood cells that works, carry oxygen from brain to every part of the body of a human being. So it would be very, very important, very, very important for mothers to know that the very region that is in their blood system, the very region is that is the red blood cells, and their white and red blood cells, is that region is Islam. Because Islam, if you look at the process of the reproductive stages of a woman, she goes every month. She goes into how you call menstruation cycles, and those menstruation cycles are designed to put a woman in when she comes out of the whatever the cycle, the cycles, her body renews. The blood cells in her body is renewed every month at the end of every 30 days or whatever, to make her body be able to be balanced with the environment around her. If a woman becomes pregnant when her body is not in good relationship with the environment, which is the religion of Islam, or the environment produces, the food or what that makes every living thing on this planet, because every living thing on this planet is Islam, is Muslim. The very food you eat, the air you breathe, the water you drink, even the light from the sky, even the moon. Because we as human beings on this planet, when human beings are created, you live from day 1 or 2, 3, and like that. But women, they count their whatever every month. When a woman reaches a certain age, she goes into her body changes, and she start going into what you call we would call them reproductive menstruation cycles, which are stages of preparing and making her body always ready, so that she can have a creation created in her body for the next generation. So if a woman does not know the region of her body, the relationship between her red blood cells and the cycles and the environment and the food she eats, then that brings if that woman falls pregnant, these are the women you find that either she halfway of the pregnant, she'll have a miscarriage. She'll end up having a miscarriage and lose the pregnancy. Or if she goes through that pregnancy, she'll have a very, very tiring experience. One of the reasons why that happens is because she did not prepare. For instance, some of our women in our societies today, they engage in what you call alcohol consumption. A woman drinks alcohol, and sometimes it happens that the very evening that she had the alcohol, when she goes, she meets a man, they'll end up having whatever, and the woman becomes pregnant. And when she's under the influence of alcohol in her body. So, if you women knew what alcohol is to the blood system of a human being and to the blood system of a woman, you wouldn't put alcohol in your body if you knew what it means. Because that very alcohol in the blood system of a woman dismantles every mechanisms and puts out of order every mechanisms of the blood cells. Even supplying oxygen to your brain when you are drunk becomes a problem. Supplying oxygen to your brain becomes a problem, because what happens is alcohol. Once you put alcohol in your body, it stops it attacks the white and red blood cells. And those white and red blood cells have what called electrical spasms, electrical pulses that makes them to be able to move here and there, to supply, to do whatever they do. Once you put alcohol in your body as a woman, that signal, that pulse in the cell is disabled straight away. That's why you see when a person becomes drunk, they cannot stand up, because that very disablement of the pulse in the red blood cells disables the entire brain, because the brain cannot get enough oxygen. And the brain neurons become disabled. And when the person stands up, she cannot even stand on her two legs properly. So if a woman drinks alcohol, and then in that very night, that woman becomes pregnant, and if she has been drinking alcohol daily or weekly, there is a very, very serious danger that the very baby she's carrying in her womb will either, if she survives a miscarriage, that child will have what we call side effects of alcohol. The very fact that she, as a woman, could not stand when she was drunk, that whatever goes into the very blood, red cells and white cells, and it imprints that signature of when it had no oxygen, when the red blood cells pulse was disabled by an alcohol toxin, and that goes into the mechanisms and the formation of the child, and that ends up being passed on to the very child in the womb of the woman, and that child comes to this planet as a disabled child because of the woman that consumed alcohol. And that very night she consumed alcohol, she slept with her man, and as a result, the woman became pregnant. And that's not the only problem. The child is born, is disabled, has a mental or psychological or whatever, a mental, what you call a disorder. She has a health disorder that either sometimes the disorder might be manageable or sometimes it's very severe. It depends. So there's the likeliness that very woman, because there's one thing I want you women to understand about the region of your blood cells in your body and your relationship with that region of the red blood cells, and what you should do to protect yourself from having either a miscarriage when you are pregnant, or damaging the very creation that is in your womb. If you drink alcohol, definitely there are some damages that will occur. If it doesn't occur to the child, you find it very difficult to go through with the pregnancy for 9 months. One of the reasons why women experience what they call tiredness, even if there's some women, they've never touched alcohol, but when they are pregnant, they go through a very, very, it's a very miraculous experience, because this very planet Earth, this Mother Earth, the planet Earth that we live on, has a stake in the pregnancy of a woman. And The moon has a stake in the pregnancy of a woman. The sun has a stake in the pregnancy of a woman. And the environment, the air, and everything that around that person, that woman who is pregnant, has a stake on this planet Earth. But to make the matters even more important, that a woman should know that the 7 galaxies near to the solar system of this planet are involved and interacting with the creation that is being created in the womb of a woman. The 7 galaxies of the or 7 near galaxies to the solar system of planet Earth are directly involved in the creation that is being created in the womb of a woman by the fact that these galaxies, they do what we call mapping and mapping the very creation that is being created and putting all the information that child needs to have in her body and mechanisms, that when she's born, she's a little bit familiar with the near 7 galaxies, that when she looks at the sky, she does not get she does not have difficulty. Or when she hears, because there's some of, as human beings, there are noises that you cannot hear, that we are restricted or we are blocked by nature, by Allah, for you not to allow you human beings to hear that those sonic whatever noises from those galaxies. As a human being, there are noises that affect the stability of a human being if you heard them. And that's the reason why Allah makes the 7 near galaxies in our solar system interact with the woman who is pregnant, to map and make that woman, that creation in the woman, comfortable as well when its time comes to come onto this planet. So that is the reason why these galaxies interact with the woman. And with that interaction, these galaxies have what we call time zones, rotation, time zones of every galaxy has more than, I would say, up to 10,000 different time zone rotations, because there's so many whatever in the galaxy, and each whatever that is in that galaxy has a different time zone. So when a woman is pregnant, her body, the child, because of the interaction of the galaxies, makes a woman very, very they call fatigue. They call it, I don't know when whatever they say, pregnancy fatigue. But it's not the pregnancy fatigue, it's the time rotation zones of the galaxies, the 7 galaxies, that makes a woman feel very tired or restless, or that she cannot sleep, things like that. So if a woman is in a state that she has been consuming alcohol before she becomes pregnant, if that time where you are by a woman is in direct interaction with the 7 galaxies comes, that's when you see that some women, they lose the pregnancy and they have miscarriages. They end up losing their pregnancy because they cannot handle. Even as I told you, even a normal woman who has never had alcohol in her body, sometimes they find it very hard to go through the interaction between the 7 galaxies, because it's a 24-hour interaction, non-stop. Because in that very interaction, the 7 galaxies with the woman who is pregnant, the very area where that woman lives, a radius of up to, we would say something like 30 miles of the radius of that woman where she lives, is also under constant mapping, because that is done in modern times. It still helps, but it's done to allow the woman, if she were to go hunt for food, that mapping of the area where that woman is done with the help of the interaction of the 7 galaxies. In the old days, before modern whatever came into existence, people used to travel and hunt for fruits and they would not know where to pick the fruit. But because of the interaction of the 7 near galaxies, there are what tips that helps a woman to track and trace where she can get this, get what, a fruit from here, a fruit from there, so that she keep the pregnancy that she's carrying alive by eating something to support the child that is being created in her womb. So the reason why I'm saying that to these women is to show women that this business of alcohol that you people in modern societies do is very harmful. It's very, very harmful to the very creation that is being created in your womb, as well as to the very mother that is pregnant. So my advice is, as women and young girls, please look at the facts. Look at the facts, either from your health institutions or are present in your countries, and find out how many women lose children, their pregnancies, according to their relation to the alcohol. How many women end up becoming going into what we call miscarriages because they do put alcohol in their bodies. And there's the second point. Find out what are the causes of these miscarriages. As I gave you two reasons. You are not prepared because you don't know the religion of your own blood as a woman, the religion of your own blood cells and mechanisms of your body. You don't know that. You don't know. You are saying your religion is something else, and I'm telling you today, you can hear this from my mouth. The religion, the mechanism, the religion of your own red blood cells, the red blood cells and white blood cells in your body as a woman, that religion is Islam. That is the very religion. That is the religion of the plant that produces a fruit, whatever that you put in your body in order to balance, to support your body to be able to prepare itself to have to carry a creation in your womb. That is the religion of the water you drink every day or every hour or every other hour. That the religion of that water is Islam. The religion of the air you breathe as a woman on this planet, that religion is Islam. So, you as mothers who were given a task to produce children who become what you call next generations of human beings, you have to know the very religion of your own bodies, and when you know the very religion of your own bodies, you wouldn't drink alcohol when you know that if you fall pregnant the next day, you have problems going through with that pregnant because of even the very effect of alcohol might affect the child that you are carrying. And you wouldn't go through that pregnancy with the interaction of the 7 galaxies that are near to this solar system. If you are under alcohol, you ever taken alcohol. And I want to tell you about alcohol as well. When a woman or any person, a man or a woman, puts alcohol in their body, the first thing that happens, there is what we call, Allah gave human beings what we call a soul that sits in a human being. That when that soul is in a human being, it helps a human being to balance and walk on 2 legs without staggering. When a woman puts alcohol, a man, that soul ejects out of that human being. Once the soul ejects out of the human being, that person cannot articulate speech, cannot speak properly. She or he cannot speak properly. She cannot. When they're speaking, they cannot. Whatever they're saying does not make sense. When they're saying something, it won't make sense because the soul that guides the human being to differentiate or to be able to balance on 2 legs without staggering, that soul ejects the moment you put alcohol in your body. Ejects out of your body the moment you put alcohol on your tongue. So when that soul comes out of your reasoning accountability, even the very fact that you cannot stand on two legs, your reasoning accountability as a human being is completely out of what you look at as who has been a human being. That's what I said. When they're talking, they cannot make meaningful speech. When a person is so ejects out of that person, she or he cannot make meaningful speech. So they lose their reasoning accountability and any sense of their own bodies as well as everything around them. So as a woman who has the responsibility to carry a womb for 9 months, I would advise you that I would be very open with you to tell you the truth, that the very region of your body is Islam. The very region of the food you eat is Islam. The very region of the water you drink is Islam. The very region of the environment, the sun and whatever the air that is Islam. So if you find that that is the real balance and make your body prepared when you become pregnant, that you don't have to go through very tiring experience. As I say, women experience what we call fatigue. Fatigue. The fatigue that the 7 galaxies time zones put on a woman. Sometimes it's unbearable. It can make a woman not be able to sleep or relax. And this goes on 24 hours. For at least we can say about not from the first month of the pregnancy, but from the 2nd month, 3rd month, 4th month, until to the 5th month. Those, or the 6th month and the 6th month. That woman is in a very, very busy time in her body. So, if you find that you find out the region of your blood cells, the region of your red blood cells, and the region of the environment, the region of the environment, I've told you today, that is Islam. Find out what Islam says. Do not drink alcohol. Do not engage in sexual. Today you are sleeping with this man, and the other day you're sleeping with that. Do not do that, because all those are forbidden in Islam. They carry a lot of diseases and what have you. A lot of they put your bodies. You put your body out of natural balance. You make your body not be able. It cannot balance to be able to live a comfortable life with the environment itself and you yourself in your body. So, as a message I'm sending to young girls and human beings in general, human beings, today is a time many of you, if you look at even in your families and whatever, you find that there's so many healthy complications, either in little children, in middle-aged people, as well as the elderly. One of the reasons why this is very common, one of the reasons is that you, as a creation of human beings, you went into confrontation, dispute with the very region of your own blood cells. When you said, we don't like Islam, we don't like the rules of Islam, we don't like Islam, we are fighting Islam. I'm saying, my people, you don't know when you people utter such a statement that you are fighting Islam. You are fighting the very rain that comes from the sky to make your plants grow and you'll be able to eat. When you say you are fighting Islam. That's what exactly nature hears from you when you have such notions that you are fighting Islam. And for your information, I'll give you something that is very common here in Europe and America. Something is very common to what we call mothers, women. And it affects only women and girls, and women especially. In the Western Hemisphere, in Europe and America, and any country that identifies itself as a people who are not Muslim, who call themselves Christians, there is this thing that happens. They have to dress very beautiful. But when they dress very beautiful, they put a Christian cross between their breasts. They put a Christian cross between their breasts. And to be that way, when a woman does that, for you as a human being, because you are unaware, you are people who are not warned, you don't know what happens. But when a woman puts a cross between her breasts, it triggers a magnetic pulse, and that pulse goes straight to the heart of this planet Earth, and it touches the heart of planet Earth, and planet Earth sends it to Allah and the 7 galaxies in the universe. Allah looks at it, and he sends it to the very woman who is wearing a cross in her chest. When that magnetic pulse comes back to the woman, it crashes into the chest of that woman, and to the breast of that woman, into the blood system of that woman, and causes the red blood cells and white blood cells of that woman to mutate into breast cancer tumors. Or if it does not mutate into breast cancer tumors, it will mutate into cancer. If it does not mutate into cancer, it will crush the entire reproductive system or the entire mechanisms of that woman to be healthy. She become unhealthy. She will have health complications from one health complication to the other, because when she did put a Christian cross in her chest, it triggered a pulse, a magnetic pulse that went to this planet. Mother planet Earth sent it to Allah, and that put that very woman into what you call confrontation and dispute with the very blood system of the red blood cells in her body, which is the religion of Islam. That is the religion of Mother Earth, and that is the religion of the plant you eat or the food you eat. And if you say you're a Christian and put that in your chest, many of you have come or have a relative who have succumbed to breast cancer or to cancer. Why? Because over the years, women thought that putting a cross in your chest is something to show off of. They used to think that it's nice. But I'm telling you, when as a young woman, you do that, you will find yourself either having health problems. If you are lucky and you don't contract breast cancer or cancer, you might have a health complication that cripples your entire reproductive system, and you find yourself that you have no chance of having a child on this planet because you have put your very region, your very blood cell system in confrontation and disrepute with the very mechanism that manages your body for you to be healthy, to be able to grow and do everything without any hindrance. But once you enter into that dispute and you say, I'm a Christian, I'm showing off, I've told you what will happen. Many medical people, those people who say they're doctors, they cannot tell you this because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't have a clue and to be very frank with you, if you as human beings, if the food you eat was not Islam, Islam, and you put in your body, you would find it very hard to live for that food to work with your bodies. You will find it very hard. You will find it very hard. So I've told you what you should know about the very religion of your bodies. You are Muslims. Every living human being on this planet is Muslim. The food you eat is Muslim. So enjoy the religion you were created in and be healthy. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.